Who framed
Rogers Willie?
Who framed Rogers Willie? Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Ike from Flipside Music, and welcome to What the F.A.Q. Season 4, Episode 4. And as always, I'm here with
Dylan.
Weekly question and answer show. You ask us a question, and we have an answer for you. So, we'll jump right in today, because, it's...
Yeah, well, we'll spare you guys the weirdness of an intro that is usually our opening.
Right. It's been a day, so we're kind of running tight, and we got to get this done because...
Yeah, this might be a quicker episode because the last ones you guys have had a little bit longer, so we'll go a little shorter this time.
Yeah, we rambled a bit, but we got only a few questions, so we'll jump right into it with Chris Volante.
Yes, who's asks, a local customer we haven't seen for a while.
Yeah, local customer. Does he live in Golden? Is that where he is?
I'm not sure.
West?
I feel like, because I think I saw him probably about a month ago, but it was quick and we were busy. I feel like some of the longtime customers have been coming in, and it's honestly been so busy that like an hour will go by before I can get back to him sometimes. But anyway, I didn't get the chance to update him, so he actually didn't know we were moving. Right. So his question this week was, new building, did you guys move?
Because we mentioned it yesterday. Yeah. So Chris, we didn't move yet, but we are here. This is a new building that we are going to be moving into, and
we do have some forward progress, actually.
Some forward progress, so we'll touch on that too. I had a nice meeting last week, or no, not last week, yesterday.
Well, that's how long our days are, though. Now,
yeah, that's how things are. So I had a meeting yesterday with GC and with the architect and a couple other people to finalize some stuff. So it looks like we're good. And we're going to be moving forward with the project and all that stuff. Yeah. That being said, there's a little bit more motion going on in here too, and I'm going to try to see what I could do to get some video of what we're doing. Obviously you see this little thing behind us, but we got some stuff going on the wall over here I'm working on. And I'm going to try to take a little, some video or some clips or whatever and put something out so you kind of see where we're at right now. I know that we did the video...
Well, yeah,
months ago with the quick walkthrough, but there's been a little bit of movement.
Well, then we want you guys to have, some experience of the space for those that aren't here, but also anybody that is here, so you guys get familiar with the space before we're even here, because it's definitely new, and obviously people keep. Oh, there we go. Ding. Obviously, people are just wondering, how we're going to end up doing things over here, and so we have a whole new space in here, and that's what basically the media room that we're always doing these videos in is now. The rest of it obviously is where the build out will happen. So
all that behind us back there is going to get tore out and all that other stuff. Everything from here forwards basically stays, but I can kind of show you at least where and what we're at. Where and what and what, you know what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. I found a coffee goober hanging out, and so I'm good now. It was kind of gross. It was just a build up.
I think Dylan was outside dumping garbage again.
Yeah.
Were you hanging out at the dumpster again with your hooligan friends, Dylan?
Yeah. Doing my shenanigans.
Yeah. I don't know. The guys are always out throwing the garbage out. Yeah. It's amazing. None of the cans are empty. Fuckers are always out of the goddamn dumpster, though. I wonder what's going on.
Well, no, this was I wasn't sure what it was for a second. It was kind of gross, but it's good now. It didn't.
Another species.
It didn't plop in.
2,000 years. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Maybe 150 million. It might take longer than 2,000.
We'll find out.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, we go to Ben Coombs, our preferred Canadian YouTuber. He asks a question for next time. That's this time. Can you recommend a delay that has its own effects loop to allow you to add an effect to your repeats? Also, I'm waiting for a Demogorgon to demo for you cats.
Yeah, I forgot we hadn't said that.
All right, so I'll answer the second one, and I'll let Dylan answer the first one because he's going to know better than I am. Well, when we get the new Demogorgon, the V2, I'll get you one, and then you can put it out in the
Canucksiverse.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out a word.
The Canucksiverse.
Yeah.
For the first question, so delay that has its own effects loop, so you can add another effect to your repeats, which is pretty cool. So basically, he's asking if there's a delay that has an effects loop that'll let you run something in parallel. There's a few delays out there, but honestly, the easiest one to do this with is going to be like the DD200 and the DD500 from Boss. Because those you can actually save independent presets with the loop either engaged or not engaged. So you can actually copy your preset with the effect on, then copy it over and turn it off. So you have two different presets, so you don't actually have to physically change anything. So I think that one's, to me, the easiest one to work that in with. Well, that too, because you can actually use it as a stereo effect if you don't use the effects loop. So then you're just using the effects loop essentially to send a stereo signal. There's several others, but I still think that one's like best bang for the buck, and it's the easiest one.
Yeah, as far as cost wise, yeah.
Well, especially for running something in parallel that has like a good mix, because like all the Boss 200 series, all of them come equipped with that. So it's kind of a nice like standard feature that they're adding in, and it's nice because you can toggle it on and off, and you can actually set like some of them will let you set in fades. So like if you had a certain effect that you wanted to blend in, it doesn't necessarily have to be instant. You can kind of let it blend in rather than just like, kicking in immediely. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with it.
Not as harsh.
Right.
All right, next.
Cool. Jacob M. So he's got a couple questions for us this time. First one is, what is your personal favorite drive type / circuit? So any of the archetypes of drive. Then the second one is, what is your favorite solo of all time, and how would you recreate the tone using only gear in the shop?
Well, we could do that all day long.
We could.
So, we got plenty of stuff in the shop to recreate.
Yeah, I kind of have an idea.
Anything.
I kind of have an idea because it's, I know where I'd go with it. I actually have a hard time though, like picking a favorite solo, because I was actually talking with Gordo about this before we came over.
There's way too many.
Well, then he saw the question, so we were kind of chatting about that for a second. It's like, he had a good point that like, there's a million like shredders out there, but you can't really hum a shredded solo.
Right.
Like you can just make weird noises.
I'm going to go with my home bass.
Oh, okay.
Favorite solo. I already got it.
Well, that's
I'm already picked.
Well, I was going to say, because like there's a lot of shreddy dudes, and like I can't think, but it's weird because like in that case, I do feel like dudes like David Gilmour, I feel like they stand out in that sense because he literally does like 2 or 3 notes, and what did I do? What? Oh, I'm no Floyd. Yeah, no.
I'm like, that
doesn't sound like me.
I'm like, that was going to be my thing now.
But that's what was it? Okay, yeah. Well, okay. Because I was going to say, Gilmour. Well, I'll let you do it then if it was going to be yours. Because he, to me, is pretty...
I was going to go... So one of my favorite solos... Now, there's a lot of favorite solos.
Yeah.
One of my favorite solos is the solo in Another Brick in the Wall.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's one of my absolute favorites. I love everything about it.
I love how...
Just
Chris,
that,
the guitar, like especially when he does that slight rake and you can hear all of it.
And then with the way he bends up and he's bending the bends, it's like, it's just so good.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the first solos when I was a kid that I listened to, and that was like one of the things that made me just go, that is the coolest thing. So for me, like I remember that very distinctly as being a little kid and hearing that solo and just going, wow, that is just so amazingly... It had emotion to it and a lot of feel and soul, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. So that's one of my favorite solos of all time. I mean, and we could get that. We got an Echo Rec.
Well, no, I was going to say, we could. Well, no, we could do that with
Space Echo. I mean,
well, no, and it's actually so funny because essentially what I was going to say for it he's not totally different now that I'm thinking about it. Because I was going to go with Isaiah Mitchell from Earthless, but now that I'm adding it up, you could actually use the same gear that I was going to recommend to do David Gilmour. Because essentially a treble booster or some kind of like gritty boost into a big muff into some kind of Echo Rec style delay. So I would personally do like the Naga Viper into our Demogorgon into the Strymon Volante if I was going to do. And it is kind of funny. We arrived at basically the same spot, But I would do that. Yeah, essentially I would do treble booster, big muff, Echo Rec into your favorite amp. And I think you could get really, because like between Isaiah Mitchell from Earthless, which Earthless, for those of you that don't know, the whole thing is basically a solo. Like every song is basically just a long jam solo. So
it's just basically smoke some dope, go listen to some loud guitars play. It's
great. Well, it's like if you like like Hendrix and Robin Trower and any of that stuff, you'll love Isaiah Mitchell.
It's good stuff if you like. Check it out if you haven't checked it out.
Yeah, but that is kind of funny. You could do the same. You could do both those dudes
with basically
their whole with that same gear.
Because it's Strats, and like you said, it's all the same gear. So
yeah, it's a Strat.
Now, in regards to what's your favorite drive type circuit, I think for me, I'd have to go with more like a blues drivery.
Oh, I thought you were going to go ODR because I feel like.
Well, I
feel like that's where you landed because everybody else was taking up the other ones, kind of.
Right, and I do like the ODR, and I think that there's similarities between that and the blues driver, so they're kind of in that same same family.
Throatier, kind of darker drive.
Yeah, and that's why I was going to say I was going to say blues driver because that was one that I used for a long time, but the ODR one is another one. Those two are probably the two that I like. Gravitate towards the most.
That's true. Like even with your black box and some of the other ones you have, even the box of rock, a lot of that still is more or less in that blues driver, blues breaker kind of circuit, that vein of things. And
yeah. So it's just not the scoopy or the extra MIDI stuff like a
like a screamer,
like a tube screamer. Yeah. That's just.
Which with Jacob, obviously, it seems like coming from his background, he does typically like some of the screamers. If I'm going to choose my favorite, though, treble booster, which obviously I've said before. But for drive circuits, the Rangemaster, and particularly, I really do like what Cattle and Bread did with the Naga Viper.
Yeah, so that's a killer pedal.
Yeah, even if you get a clone of it, the idea is essentially it's a Rangemaster where they took two resistors and swapped them out so that they have pots instead of resistors, so that you can use the pot to essentially filter the low frequencies. So your treble frequency basically remains the same, but you can add all the low end back in. And then the other one is basically just a gain circuit, so that go away. But the other one is just for gain, because the original Rangemaster was essentially just set at a fixed amount. Right. So to me, like if you're gonna get a Rangemaster clone, anything in that Naga Viper style is gonna be pretty awesome. Even the Cesar Diaz stuff too, like Pedal Pond does a pretty sweet pretty sweet treble booster that's based on that one. Any of those tend to be kind of in that vein where you have a little more range to them.
All right,
I think that just leaves Colin.
Yeah, last question.
All right, Colin James, question for next time, which is this time. Given the awesomeness of the Demogorgon and all its permutations, have you guys considered doing another kind of pedal? We have. We have so many ideas. We just need more ways of making them happen.
Right.
We have a lot of.
What we need a workshop and minions.
Well, you know what I really do wish?
Like the real ones, the little yellow guys with big glasses. We need like them
that'd be awesome. Actually.
Yeah, just to be knocking shit over and doing weird shit, and we just come up with an idea and just tell the minion
make it happen.
And they're gone. And then next thing you know, we got a FARC gun.
Exactly. So it's one that we can plug into an amp. That'd awesome. Actually be sweet.
But we got some ideas.
Well, that was the thing is like I actually sometimes really wish we did have a pedal company that we could correspond with more in terms of like, because like I've always wanted. I think an expression jack on phasers should be a thing, because like you can't make laser noises if you don't have an expression control.
You got it.
It's physically impossible. So they just need to add in like little tweaks like that are what I wish we could do to certain circuits that are already out there. Like I wish we could just suggest
something to it. Like, hey, this would be really cool if it just had a presence knob. Something that wouldn't be there, but that presence knob would give us that upper end that we want.
Right, and it would fix
that could accommodate something that maybe wouldn't normally use it.
Right.
Let's say we're using an SG. Mm-hmm. Let's say you got an SG and you want to use that for something. There's certain pedals out there. You're like, man, this is cool. It just needs a little bit more, and the treble ain't doing it.
Yes, because there a lot of times like presence controls missing on any kind of amp based pedal. Like it sucks because like presence, even with a Vox style circuit or a Fender style circuit, presence still helps when you're in a band mix. Like anybody who's played in a band, like first thing you go for most times is not treble. It's usually presence and mids. Those are like the two things that you're trying to get, more of through. Yeah, to get into the mix.
What the hell's happening?
Yeah, so it's like certain tweaks like that, or even like the Friedman BEOD. Like I still can't believe that thing doesn't have a mids control on it. Like that drives me nuts with that thing, because it's like the whole idea about a Marshall is like you're getting it for all those mids, like all the crispy mids, and if you can't control that, then I don't know. It's like it's weird because like the Dirty Shirley, I feel like almost does that better than the BEOD. But in terms of other types,
anything specific?
We've talked about treble boosters. What else?
Yeah, we've talked. Yeah.
Oh, we had talked about like doing almost kind of a Dumble style one, but more with a blend. We talked about that at one point, like a real smooth overdrive that had a clean blend, because that seems to be like a spot that not a lot of people are actually filling right now. Is like a really smooth, creamy drive that you can actually blend in, kind of like Klon styles or Dumble style stuff. But
well, there was something else too. I'm trying to remember what the hell. We've come up with some pedal names.
Yeah,
and we can just put any circuit we want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But we can't mention those during the family hour here.
Right. Well, we thought about doing it even this morning. We were talking with MJ about doing the belt series.
Oh yeah.
Where we would have like the Bible belt and the Tornado belt,
the Rust belt,
and those would all be different types of pedals. So
yeah, we'd have the weed belt.
Yeah,
because we feel like we're in the weed belt, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
out here in Colorado. So, but what else we have? I think we had a reverb that we were thinking about at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird.
But a lot of this stuff's been done. I don't think we're going to do it. I mean, not like our fuzz pedal isn't anything that already hasn't been done, but we feel like that's got a distinct character to it.
Well, that was like a spot that we were getting, like, because now Matt's basically throwing mids on a lot of his circuits. So, like, now it's becoming a thing among other builders as well in terms of putting, like, mids and octaves on big muffs. So it's like that for that at that time was what we wanted. Yeah, and I was gonna say
we did that,
or at least certainly contributed to it. But it's like that was a spot that we knew we could really hit. Whereas like everything else, it is a little hard because like even with the treble booster, it's like I still feel like Cattle and Bread more or less nailed it with that version of it. So it's like if we were to do it, we would only really be kind of taking a stab at that. And the
Rangemaster's still out there, but also like the Pedal Pond guys are making
there's more people doing. So
there's
a
lot of stuff that's already out there,
that's
solid. And how are we going to improve on that? So
if anything, like maybe
because we're not pedal builders, so we're not looking at it with all the ins and outs of every.
Right.
I mean, we know enough, but just like you said. Well, maybe this has an expression pedal expression to it, but that's not too crazy. We need to make our own.
Oh, actually,
sound. Well, that's what we need to.
Well, no, one of MJ and I had thought of. So this dude brought in one of these old. I forgot the name of the company that made it. It's basically the Siren Wah, and it literally one button on it, and you can't control it. One button on it literally just makes a raid siren. And it just slowly ramps up and then it ramps down, just like those old, like the old PA.
Like on
what kind of as Prison Break?
Jailbreak.
That was it. Yeah. Well, there's that, or even like I think War Pigs at the beginning of War Pigs. It has the raid siren. It literally sounds like that. And so MJ and I thought if we can get Chuck to do it. If he could literally just do it in something about that size so that anybody who would want a raid siren on their pedal board could literally just put that on there and put it, So that was one that we're actually thinking of is like having a raid, a raid siren pedal. Which I think would be hilarious.
I think that would be good. I think maybe we should go with the goose. Maybe a goose.
We literally just start doing one sound effect.
Yeah. With it.
Put some delay on it.
We call it the goose phaser.
It's just like a broken fuzz circuit and a phaser.
We just make it what were we gonna call the one, the F.A.Q pedal or
the one?
The fuck it pedal or something?
Oh. I can't remember. I think I have it on the list.
We got we literally have pages of stupid shit we've thought about
over the years.
And we're like, we should do that someday, and it's like floating around behind the counter. And every now and again we'll pull that out and go, oh yeah, remember that thing? Oh yeah, remember that thing? So who knows? I don't know if that answered Colin's question or not.
Well, no, we did. The raid siren.
Okay, raid siren. Yeah, we'll go with
that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we'll work on that. We'll work on it with Chuck. Chuck will do it.
Yeah, and actually I think Colin oddly would probably be like, once he heard that with some effects on it, he'd be like, I'll take one of those.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to figure out what it would cost. It can't be that much.
And if
we can sell it cheap and make it ourselves or do something like that, or...
Well, yeah, because that would be a pretty unique, like, little thing that, like, nobody else would really have. And if we could literally make it in, like, the little tiny, like, square...
Yeah.
Like a tap switch almost, and you just click it on and, like, and it just revs up. Because I think that'd be fun, like because we put it in, we put it through an octave pedal, we put it through like a delay pedal, and all kinds of. It's just like a little guy in there.
It's all mechanical. It's just an arm.
Actually, yeah.
It's like a thing going like this.
That or it's just like a little. It's on top of it, and you have to reach down and
like a little jewelry box.
That would be funny. Like a wind-up jewelry box.
Yeah.
That would
we'll
be
see.
funny.
We're working on prototypes as we speak.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Now it's a thing.
Now we have to do it because we made a deal out of it.
Right.
Oh, okay. I think that's it, right?
That is it. Yeah.
Yep. That's it for this week. Kept it short.
Yep.
So we appreciate you guys that have all hung out this long, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. All right. Cool.
Sweet.